Here's what's happening now. Most of us dry, but a line of thunderstorms headed in our direction. We'll tell you how long those are going to be camping out. Karen?
Also first at 4, Southfield police looking for someone that looks like this in connection with a violent crime targeting an elderly couple. Good afternoon, Paula.
Hey, Karen. Well, to say that these kids have been to hell and back would be an understatement, but they are showing that the spirit is the most powerful part of our bodies, and they're also showing the firefighters who saved them a thing or two. All this is happening right now and more on Local 4, First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, residents in this quiet Southfield neighborhood are on edge right now after an elderly couple is attacked. Police have released this sketch of the suspect they believe was involved in the crime that happened last month off of Poinciana. That's near 8 Mile and Inkster Roads. The suspect forced open a screen door of a home and then assaulted a 67-year-old man. When his wife tried to call 911, he started hitting her using the phone as a weapon. Anyone with information is asked to contact Southfield Police. A Detroit woman could spend a long time behind bars after a deadly crash that left one man dead earlier this year. Kelly Stock was convicted on several charges, including operating while drunk and reckless driving, causing death. The crash killed 72-year-old Bernie Sims back in March. Today, the judge sentenced Stock to serve between 19 and 50 years in prison. At 6, you'll hear some of the harsh words the judge had for Stock in court. We have an update in the case of Dr. Fada, the doctor serving time in prison after being found guilty of poisoning hundreds of patients. Now, some of those cancer patients are being denied compensation. The acting U.S. attorney offered this explanation today.
Those denial letters are preliminary. They can be changed. The victims have until August 23rd to provide additional documentation or correct any errors that were in their original claims. And the errors may be as simple as they didn't sign the claim.
Now $11 million will be split among the over 700 victims. According to the acting U.S. attorney, Daniel Lemix, approximately 74% of claims are being granted in whole or partially. Those who have been denied can resubmit or fix their claims in effort to reverse the denial. For more information on the claim process, we've got the help posted for you on clickondetroit.com. Today's first forecast, we could see some afternoon showers, but not everyone is going to get that much needed rain. The skies are kind of confusing out there, Ben. It looks like it's about to hit, and then it just doesn't.
Yeah, some places got some raindrops earlier. Most of those have gone, but we've got a promising line developing that's out to our northwest. Right now, the only stuff that's going on, at least in our corner of the state, is up here in northern Sanilac County. A couple thunderstorms in there, very slowly meandering out towards the lake, but it's this line that should start to gain in intensity as it comes towards us. Nevertheless, do expect scattered showers, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, but we're not anticipating anything strong or severe. Crisp night tonight, seasonably warm this week, and we've got the green light for the next weekend ahead. We will run down our rain chances, which are not great, but they're there. That's all coming up in a few minutes. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. The nuclear threat from North Korea is back on the front burner of international diplomacy this afternoon. Representatives of both the United States and North Korea attending an Asian diplomatic conference in the Philippines. Kimberly Gill is following the very latest of these developments and joins us from the newsroom. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. Right now, the U.S. and North Korea are talking at each other, not really with each other. Tensions rose again this past weekend with the United Nations slapping new sanctions against North Korea. Citizens in North Korea's capital watched state media condemn the sanctions and blame the UN action on American influence. This comes as U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson attends an Asian summit in Manila, where he has met with China's foreign minister to discuss the North Korean threat. The North Korean foreign minister says his country will not put its missiles or nuclear weapons on the negotiating table and said North Korea would respond, quote, 1,000-fold against the U.S. over the sanctions. Secretary Tillerson hopes the new UN sanctions will prompt North Korea to reconsider its policies.
And we hope, again, that that this ultimately will result in North Korea coming to the conclusion to choose a different pathway, and when the conditions are right, that we can sit and have a dialogue around the future of North Korea so that they feel secure.
Now, South Korea's president spoke by phone today with President Trump, with both voicing strong support for the UN sanctions against North Korea. The president also conducted a 1-hour phone talk with Secretary of State Tillerson and the White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. After his phone conversation with South Korea's president, President Trump took to Twitter and said that he was very happy and impressed with the United Nations vote on new sanctions against North Korea. Karen, we will continue to follow it and keep you posted.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Now, while the president is tweeting during his vacation, some critics noticed he did not have a press conference before leaving the White House. President Trump has given just one solo press conference during his first 200 days in office. In comparison, by this point in his presidency, Barack Obama had held 9 solo press conferences. George W. Bush held 3, and his father, President George H.W. Bush, had held 18 press conferences in his first 200 days. Now, of course, they did not have Twitter at that time, and President Trump has said he likes that unfiltered contact. So today, he reached out to his supporters, tweeting in part, "The Trump base is far bigger and stronger than ever before, despite some phone fake news polling." He also touted his accomplishments, including Supreme Court pick, economic enthusiasm, deregulation, and so much more have driven the Trump base even closer together. All right, let's move away from politics, and I want to have you take a look at this video. Nearly 60 children laughing, riding in these fire trucks with a full motorcycle escort. They are burn survivors, and they are arriving at the annual Great Lakes Burn Camp over in Kalamazoo, and that is where we find our Paula Tutman. She was up there very early this morning to get to know some of these kids and share their stories, as well as the firefighters, because they have so much that they have been through, Paula.
Yeah, they really have. And you know, we've been here all morning, all day, really. This is absolutely phenomenal. So I want to show you Natalie, because she really is an example of what's going on here. Some of these kids have fresh injuries. Some of them have been grappling with their injuries for many, many years. But what they're doing in this camp is they're really becoming heroes to the heroes, really, many of the heroes that saved them. So we're going to watch Natalie make this shot. Natalie, let her rip. And go. Oh my gosh. Wow. The camp is like so many other camps in so many ways. But at Great Lakes Burn Camp, the biggest difference is what's happening beyond the fun. What's truly happening here is healing, and not just on the part of the campers who bear burn scars.
I got webbed fingers.
But healing on the part of the people who've saved them. At this camp, many of the counselors are firefighters.
With your foot.
For 25 years, children have come to this camp to be children.
Good job,
just children. Oh. Which brings us back to Jeffrey, a young man from just outside of Flint, a quiet-spoken 10-year-old with the heart of a lion and the strength of a superhero.
Keep going.
There you go, right there. Good job.
The 50-foot climbing wall not only builds confidence and teamwork, but it stretches the physical scars, because skin that's been burned does not grow. And so as Jeffrey climbs, he is literally stretching out his scars and healing them.
Right in front of your knees.
Below is a firefighter from Virginia who is being healed just watching Jeffrey climb.
Watching them go through a traumatic experience and watching them have no boundaries is crazy. It just makes me become a better person, know that no matter what happens, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Have you felt strong before?
Yeah.
When?
In like surgeries and stuff. 86 of them.
You had 86 surgeries?
Mm-hmm. Pull up.
There, pull up. You got it. Almost there.
Go, Nap. And then I don't know what to grab. They can do it. And they're just as strong as me.
There are nearly 60 children at camp this year from surrounding states.
Boys are down with their shirts off. Girls are in a normal bathing suit, jumping in the lake, having a good time, swimming in the water. Nobody's pointing and laughing at them. Not everybody that we pull out of a fire makes it out of a fire. We see the worst of the worst in families' lives in one day, and so sometimes when we get that save, we get an opportunity to bring them to a place like this, and then firefighters get to come here and be counselors and be around these kids and watch them grow and laugh and love and have a good time.
How do you not fall in love with every single one of these kids? Not one of them pays a dime. These firefighters work hard to raise money. They get private donations. You know what, Karen? I'm going to put a link on my Facebook page, Local 4 Paula Tutman, so you can find out about Burn Camp and you can get involved in this story that is changing the lives of everyone they touch.
I liked your description, Paula. Heart of a lion and the strength of a superhero. So nicely put.
Oh my gosh, these guys. Yeah. They are amazing.
They really are. We appreciate you bringing the story to us. Thank you, Paula. Well, coming up, first at 4, it is getting even harder to believe in happily ever after these days when it comes to celebrity marriages. Still ahead, the Hollywood breakup that's taken many people by surprise. Also, tornado destruction that could have been much worse. Why the timing of this storm probably saved a lot of lives. And a murder suspect in court. Why some are calling the shooting a hate crime. Wait until you hear the suspect's version of what happened inside this restaurant. Next.
The high school.
First at 4, we're tracking stories making headlines all across America. We start with a road rage shooting in Cleveland that left a 4-year-old boy fighting for his life. It happened on I-90 late Sunday. Police say the boy's mother honked at a car that was blocking the road. Well, then 2 people inside a 4-door Pontiac chased her down the interstate, shooting at her car. She was able to get off the freeway and call for help, but her little boy was shot in the head. He underwent surgery to remove bullet fragments, which luckily did not go into his brain. Moving to South Florida, where this man is accused of murder, and one of the victims who survived a shooting claims it was a hate crime. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's offices say there was a fight inside a restaurant. A witness says the suspect made anti-gay comments before he started firing. 2 men were hit and 1 died. The suspect says he was very drunk at the time and he believes a group of men attacked him. The judge denied bond. City of Tulsa, Oklahoma is picking up the pieces today after a powerful tornado slammed into that city very early on Sunday morning. At least 30 people injured, and you can see there's so much damage there with buildings destroyed after the storm bashed into a shopping center. The storm hit after 1 a.m., which means the shopping center was empty, and that obviously saved a lot of lives. Record books show this is only the 3rd tornado to touch down in Tulsa in August in the last 50 years. And Ben is back, and we've got some storms, or showers, we should say, that we're expecting tonight.
We do. Probably some rumbles of thunder, but nothing serious, nothing severe, but some much-needed rain for a lot of folks. So that's the good news. Temperature-wise, we're doing okay. 70s out there, and the humidity is low. In fact, really, this entire forecast that's going to take us into the weekend, we're not going to see a problem with humidity. We're at 77 right now at Metro. City airports are warm spots, 78 degrees, but temperatures are in a pretty tight range across most of the year. A little bit cooler up there in Sanilac County, where those showers and a couple thunderstorms up there have cooled things down just a bit. Kind of a neat shot on storm pins, even though it's a gray sky. You got Ford Field on the left and Comerica on the right as they're shooting right down towards the RenCen, and we will be seeing those clouds in a lot of spots this afternoon. This is ahead of those thunderstorm chances that we're expecting as we get into the second half of the evening hours. And even though we did see some of those showers try to make their way out of West Michigan in the morning, those dried up except for just our north zone. Got a couple sprinkles there, and now the second line is developing here around Saginaw. That's going to start moving to the south, so that one looks like it's probably going to hold together, especially with the additional heating that we got this afternoon, and that's going to bring a few scattered showers, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder and a lightning strike or 2, but nothing severe expected. That'll all be out of here by about sunset tonight, and then skies are going to clear out overnight, and that's going to allow those temperatures to drop that we'll check out in our 4-zone forecast in a minute. But also, as we get into tomorrow morning, there's a possibility we could get some patchy fog, at least in the coldest spots. And those are going to be areas, believe it or not, that actually hit the upper 40s for lows as we get into tonight. Once we get into tomorrow, though, skies clear out, beautiful sunshine for most of Tuesday on a very bright day ahead of us. But let's look at those lows tonight. Mid-50s in our metro zone. City's going to be at 56. We'll probably get to 55 for a low at the airport. South zone temperatures, the further inland you get, the cooler numbers show up. Out in Morenci, we're looking at 51 with 53 for areas towards Luna Pier, Monroe, and Lambertville. West zone, start seeing some of those upper 40s out here. Chelsea at 49. Howell, you'll see 48 tomorrow morning, with the rest of the zone in the low to mid 50s. And our north zone going to get a couple 40s in here too, especially in those inland areas, Imlay City, Yale, Emmett, North Branch, upper 40s as we start out tomorrow morning, and with low and mid 50s outside of that for our Tuesday start. So highs get to 81 in the afternoon, and again, it's going to be with a ton of sunshine. We'll keep the humidity low and the winds light. So all in all, tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day. High temperatures inch up somewhat as we head towards the end of the week. Low to mid 80s here for this stretch through Friday. And really, most of this is going to be completely dry. There's just a chance of a stray shower in the afternoon on Wednesday that most of us won't see. And then on Friday, as we get into the late part of the day, closer to the evening, could see a few showers there. Most of the weekend looking dry, too. A couple showers towards late Sunday. But generally, most of the 7-day forecast is dry. Karen?
All right. Thank you very much, Ben. Coming up first at 4, a new way to pamper your dog while you're at work or out of the house. Some experts say it is the best way to battle separation anxiety. So see if the solution sounds good to you. Up first, immigration hoax. One of the biggest companies in America is fighting a case of fake news, and this one sounds sort of sinister. We'll be right back.
We never need it.
All right, let's talk about today's trending stories on this Monday. Starbucks is shooting down a rumor that has been going viral. Someone online cooked up the idea of making August 11th Dreamer Day with big discounts or free coffee for undocumented immigrants. Well, some believe the bogus holiday is a ploy to get the undocumented to reveal themselves and even be rounded up by ICE. Starbucks says the rumor is, quote, completely false, 100% fake, end of quote. This story also getting a lot of attention today. We've talked before about embarrassing social media posts from your teenage years that, you know, can come back and haunt you. Well, things like racy photos from spring break or perhaps drinking too much alcohol. Well, today, British lawmakers proposed a bill that would give social media users the right to take down those photos, and it would apply to items posted before the age of 18. Social media companies could even be fined if they don't comply. The bill still has to make it through Parliament. All I can say, Ben, is I'm so glad that we didn't have social media when we were younger.
I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, the worst we had to worry about is somebody developing the pictures.
Yeah, and like
them
handing them out. Yeah. So see, there were some things good about the olden days, if you'd say. All right, there's shock and disappointment this afternoon. Hollywood Tonight for fans of former power couple Chris Pratt and Anna Faris. They have announced that they are separating after 8 years of marriage. He is the star of Guardians of the Galaxy. She, you know her from the sitcom Mom. They announced their separation on social media yesterday, of course, where else? In the statement, they said, in part, we tried hard for a long time and we're really disappointed. Our son has 2 parents who love him very much, and for his sake, we want to keep the situation as private as possible moving forward. Their son is 4 years old. All right, we know Americans love to baby their dogs, but would you spend money on audiobooks for your precious pup? The Amazon-owned company Audible is teaming up with famous dog whisperer Cesar Millan on a new service called Audible for Dogs. They say playing a book for your dog while you're not home will actually make them calm and relaxed. And they say recent research backs them up. By the way, the books earmarked for dogs cost the same as Audible books for humans.
What do you think Bailey would like? Harry Potter?
Oh, I think that's too scary. He's only like 4 months old. Something
No
a little
wizards
more
in
like
Hogwarts?
Paw Patrol, perhaps. Oh. Don't forget, we've got a webpage totally dedicated to pets. You can find the latest pet news and share your photos at All for Pets at clickondetroit.com. Still ahead, Olympic countdown. Wait until you see the journey the torch will take from Athens to South Korea. It is definitely a scenic route.
It's common sense.
Well, finally, first of all, everybody wants to see the Olympic torch when your country gets to host the games.
Yeah, but what have you ever seen actually what the journey of the torch looks like? Take a look at this animation, and it shows the torch leaving Athens, heading to South Korea, which is going to host the Winter Games in 2018.
Now, there are 2 more plane rides, and then things get really interesting. Look at that. The torch is zigzagging all over South Korea. The pretty crazy journey, finally ending in Pyeongtaang tomorrow. The Olympics will be just 6 months away if you happen to be counting.
Not exactly the most efficient.
I know, but we get a lot of visitors, right? All right, thanks so much for joining us for First at 4. We're back in a half hour with Local 4 News at 5. Inside Edition is next.